every commercial television company or media company, should we say, to broaden our horizons, needs to have bums on seats. It's their audience numbers that will decide how much to charge advertisers.
Mm.
The higher the number, the more expensive it will be, even reach into Super Bowl levels, where it's really expensive.
Yes.
You need to have a pretty large company with a rip-roaring product to advertise in the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Because it is. So it looks like there won't be any rich pickings for the UK, as audience numbers just tanked across the board. Everybody. I think the John Lewis commercial and its competitors got better viewing figures than most programs. To give you an idea, the King's Christmas speech, came in at first place as for with just over 4 million views. That's in a nation of a population touching on 70 million inhabitants.
Yes.
Only 4 million didn't necessarily watch it all the way through, but at least they did. So what could be the reason behind this disaster? The BBC didn't help matters by transmitting substandard, below par entertainment. Viewers in their droves complained about the totally unfunny humour and comedy shows transmitted on their channels. People literally took on the title of the programme, Why Don't You Turn Off Your Television Set and Do Something Less Boring? That was a programme transmitted during school holidays for the kids in the 1970s.
Yeah, why don't you? I remember it, yes.
Yeah. And it seems that is exactly what they did. They abandoned terrestrial television. Now, there aren't any numbers to suggest where these viewers did go to, which makes the back turning on openly woke comedians trying to be relevant in their, and this has to be said, unfunny comedy even more brutal. Because it would suggest that they turned off and did nothing. And that's got to hurt. They just turned off and just didn't do anything, just to ignore you.
Yeah.
So, just as the Boxing Day sales, it looks like Christmas time TV in the UK was a bust, with the exception, of course, of the World's Darts Championship at Alexandra Palace, Ali Pali,
yes,
of course. Although I found this out yesterday, I've been watching the highlights of it since the beginning.
Yeah.
And Sky Sports, it's not on a terrestrial TV channel.
Yes, yeah.
And but even so, if it was, that's the only thing that'd be any good on British TV at the moment.
Yeah.
There
I mean,
you are.
I mean, I like darts. The tensions at the end when they're getting down to the last darts, it's nothing quite compared with it. Very British thing, possibly, and or American. Although the Northern Europeans are now big on it. Anyway, I diverse. Yeah, I mean, viewing figures on mainstream TV entertainment is dropping. We've got so many options now. I mean, you've got to think, in my lifetime, we've gone from having three choices, three channels in my lifetime. I was born in the come from the 70s. Went up to five. Now you've probably got 200 odd channels if you want to choose. It's always quite telling that a lot of the channels that are showing, okay, forget terrestrial, we have to bring in Sky as well as part of the mainstream, or the satellite broadcasting, or the cable, whatever else is available. It's the ones that are showing heritage programs, not heritage in history, sort of, but programs from the past. Somebody said this, one of the most watched programs, if you like, in the past 30 years was Only Fools and Horses Christmas special. The viewing figures were a lot more than 4 million.
Yeah, of course.
But people keep saying the landscape has changed. We're not kind of tied to, like you say, watching an output of ITV or the good old Beeb. I must admit, I looked at some of the programs on View, and I thought, I don't think there's anything that would hold my interest at any age. They tried all sorts of things, even some sort of tennis match between a man and a woman, and it was obvious way that was going to go. And I'm not saying, and yeah, it does strike me as very, very strange. They're scraping the barrel. The entertainment that the inverted commas creators and producers want to put out who work for these main operations are not the same. Do not put out what people actually want to watch, then blame everyone else for not creating what they want to watch. Whereas we can now stream what we want. Most of us have access to. People have Netflix. I'm not saying the whole content of Netflix is particularly over appealing sometimes.
Well, that's why I say that we can't. There aren't any numbers.
No.
From Netflix and from Disney and from Warner Brothers and whatever.
Yeah, there is
their view figures recently over Christmas went up.
Yeah, I mean,
they get the quarterly figures for the finances.
Yeah, there is an organisation that does compile them, but it compiles them from various sources to try and get a guesstimate. Because they're notoriously, but they don't have to declare anything because they're working. Yeah, they're private companies and etc. Not life. Yeah. I mean, there are some legal free streaming services as well that people can go on. Okay, I'm not talking about YouTube. That's one of them. What we're on, our employers. Yeah, it's almost because they will pay us eventually for our content. Yeah. That's an interesting relationship we could all have with YouTube. If we become popular, we get money from YouTube. It's quite incredible. It's the ultimate form of capitalism. But yeah, there's other things you can't get. You can get it in the UK now. There's Tubi, which is owned by Fox Corporation, totally legal to watch, and they have so many films from different ages, from the 1930s up to a few years ago. Films and TV content. I don't know if you get the TV content in the UK, but yeah, we've got so many other options. There's Pluto. There's
I want to know if people in the UK did something else rather than watch TV at all.
Maybe the population will grow in the next few years. I don't know. Again, that's what I said. There's other options. People are not tied to their visual or audio content on one thing.
No, saying is, did they get off their asses and away from the televisions?
Well, were the roads full of people going on walks or driving to somewhere to go for a walk on over Christmas, or things like this?
I don't know because I don't know because I wasn't.
That's it.
I wasn't there.
Yeah,
but
that's what.
Like I said, as there are no numbers to suggest where they did go.
Yeah.
We just know where they didn't go.
Well, they won't. Maybe we've gone back to playing parlor games and sitting around playing music and things. Yeah, which would be quite nice actually. Complete families talking to each other.
Could be that the sales of monopolies went through the roof this year. And everybody's playing Monopoly.
Yeah, well, most families have an old game of Monopoly. You can get down, bring out the old boot and the car, as it were. I love Monopoly. Yeah, yes, there was once a over the Christmas period. There was once an injury in my household over Monopoly. Me and my sister had a playful dispute, and she ended up falling off her chair when I tapped her. Yeah, it's quite funny. She ended up in hospital, fell against a radiator. Yeah, kind of a made for humorous story. Could have been serious.
It seems like somebody takes their board games seriously.
Well, yeah, it's to do with money.
Fake as it all is.
Yeah. Yeah. I was doing a very hostile takeover. Yeah, it's again, yeah, the landscape has changed. No, we have so many choices now. Maybe we got too many. It's like I say, people may be talking to each other again. Um, People can play video games. Bring out, bring out the Xbox, and away you go. Um, yeah, if you've got younger people, if you've got four controllers, that's four people certified at a time. Get the crowd of the nephews and the nieces and the cousins all swapping. Um, Actually, at least it's interacting with each other and cheering and having a thing. Um, it's like I say, or maybe people went. I haven't seen there was an increase in people going to restaurants or anything because it's expensive now. Um, yeah, I think that people were probably it got diluted with people looking at other visual forms of visual entertainment. It's like I say, unless you can see the Netflix viewing figures, other
Yeah,
viewing figures,
I don't know where they went to.
maybe they sat down and read books to each other. I mean, yeah, it would be nice to think of the nice old Victorian thing of Mr. Scrooge walks in and they're dancing and playing games and things like this. Yeah, that would be a nice thought to go back to simpler times.
Remember when I was a kid?
No TV in the corner. You had to create your own entertainment, as it were. Yes. Yeah. Mr. Darcy's extremely grand balls, etc.
What the fluff from under the bed was for.